So I like to watch the game on the TV, but also listen to the radio broadcast. So I get a little bit of both. And I believe it was Steve Burton at halftime got Vrabel, and Vrabel goes, "That's on our quarterback. He's got to live for another day." And he's true. It's true. Like, the defense can make stops. Take the sack. Now, it's so funny because, when you think about it, we just lived through the Mac Jones era, and we'll talk about him later tonight. The Mac Jones era, you're like, oh, man, this kid's not so bad. Huh? He get really coached up. He hit his peak and failed. Fell off a cliff. Okay? The problem with Mac was he had no arm strength. And the line stunk, so therefore he couldn't stay in the pocket. Like, there was a lot of things that didn't go Mac Jones' way. I'm sure it could have been handled better. Okay? With Drake Maye has all the ability. He's got the size, the arm strength, the mobility, like the vision. He makes plays. He can do a lot. He's got one win. He has a high turnover ratio. He's one of the top players in the league. I saw two today when it came to Drake Maye. Warren Sharp had one from Sharp Analysis, and I'm trying to remember who the other one was. But there were two rankings this week. When it came to where quarterbacks rank. Let's just say for the most part, Drake Maye falls in anywhere from 19 to 23 when it comes to rankings in the NFL. I just feel like that's right. Now, he's not Kenny Pickett level number 34 in the league or anything like that. But I do think that at least there's I don't want to use the word reputation. But what we know of Drake Maye at this point is he turns the ball over. And he had a built-in excuse, right? He had a built-in excuse. The line was bad. The coaching was bad. The receivers couldn't get open. I just don't feel like that's the case with this year's team. It's just not the case. So let me just give you some of the notes that I had regarding Drake Maye. From the game. Again, I watched the whole thing. I tried to analyze it, and all I can give you is what I saw. The bad, you can't fumble the ball. Yes, there was a breakdown by two rookies. Right on the left side, it was a little bit of wouldn't call it a stunt, but, a little bit of a move over there. They both got confused. It was a missed assignment. His footwork's bad, so what did he do? He backtracked. And then when he should have taken the sack, he looked around still to keep the play alive, which was they're trying to do. So I get what he was doing. His comment, though, was it was the first hit he took all year. And that was what his instinct had him do. So his instinct was to turn the ball over. Again, it's preseason. You want him to make these mistakes now so they don't go over until the regular season. If I haven't said that yet, there you go, everybody. But I didn't think his footwork was great, especially inside the pocket. Now, around the red zone, I did, especially on that rushing touchdown. I thought that was really good. He had another one earlier where he ran the field, saw the vision, and just had a really nice slide. I give him credit for that. That's advancement. That's improving. No doubt about it. He missed a throw in the back of the end zone. I thought he should have had one. So there's just no question that Drake Maye has an ability to run. I think it's something he really can use and makes him different than a lot of other quarterbacks. But he's not Josh Allen, everyone. Josh Allen's a beast. He's a physical runner, powerful runner. Drake Maye is, you see the field, he's got great vision. Go get the free yards. So it was nice to see the slide. That was great. But I am at the point where I believe Drake Maye does need more reps. I keep talking about this, but, Bo Nix played a lot of college football. Michael Penix, right? Jaden Daniels. There's just a lot of guys who played a lot of college football that when they got their chance to start in the NFL, they were game ready. And I just think that Drake Maye wasn't set up last year to be drafted. He was supposed to be groomed and to sit on the bench after his only 2 years of college football. So I still think we're seeing some of the growing pains, but we are also seeing progression. just to move on here, when it comes to a couple of more, I did not like what I saw from Josh Dobbs. I get it. He's the backup quarterback. He's here not to compete with Drake Maye. That's why he's here. He knows the offense. He had a nice little run, too. He missed Kyle Williams down the sideline on a wide-open throw that he underthrew. Like, Williams, I give him credit. He got open for it. But my only thing is, how does Williams improve? How does he develop when the backup quarterback can't throw him the ball when he's open down the field? So I didn't like what I saw from Dobbs at all. But I know why he's here. Oh, Jalen Polk got hurt and left the game. He won't practice this week. I think he's closer to the injured reserve than another roster spot. Just another thing regarding Drake Maye. Last year, the Vikings saw J.J. McCarthy in camp. He lit it up. He was their first round pick. He lit it up. Got injured, obviously. I think you need that type of game for Drake Maye. Just a little bit of confidence, show more urgency, more command of the offense. Let him play with the ones. See what you can do with a Kyle Williams in there. Maybe look for Pop Douglas. So I don't know how they handle joint practices, two of them. Are they going to use both of those joint practices as the game-ready action? So when the game comes, Drake doesn't play? I feel like that's just, he needs the reps. He needs them. Now, I don't know if he'll play the third preseason game. I don't know. I don't believe there's joint practices for that game either. But how do they handle two joint practices and then a game? I'm almost curious if he's out there. We're going to talk to Michael Hurley later on tonight. He's from the Pats Chat, right? You guys know Hurley. And has been doing some work with NBC Sports Boston. So we'll talk to him coming up in just a little bit. But your overall thoughts on Drake Maye? I got a lot more on the rest of the night. I saw a lot of positives, only a couple of negatives for the most part. But it was refreshing to see some well-coached football is what I will call it. But for Drake Maye, it's a preseason game. Make your mistakes now. I don't like that I saw it, that he turned the football over. He's got to go down with it. But I do want to defend him to a point where he needs more reps in this offense. He really does. 617-779-0985. Let's talk to Randy. He's in Providence. What's up, Randy?
Hey, how you doing today?
How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. I was pretty encouraged by what I saw on Friday night, I think. I've been thinking that this team is going to be kind of a real short, quick throw, almost like West Coast passing game. And I think that's what we saw on Friday night. Drake Maye had like an average depth of target of 5.5 yards. Only had a couple throws there, the 1-2 series. But still, 2.46 seconds time to throw. And that would put him right on top of the league. And that's what you want, especially when you got a left tackle that you're not sure can hang out on an island, right? And even if he could, he's a rookie. So you want to get that ball out quick. And I think that's what we're going to do a lot of this year. We saw 31 runs and 29 throws. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw even a little more run heavy throughout the season. What do you think about the game overall? What do you think about that as our game plan?
So, for the most part, I'm going to tell you, this is the reason when it was announced that Mike Vrabel was going to come over and be the manager, be the coach of the team, this was what I didn't want. I didn't want a coach to come in here and rely on the running game. Like how many teams in the league rely on it? What's that?
Do you think there's value in zigging when the rest of the league is zagging?
I think maybe for Drake Maye's sake, it might not be a bad idea leaning on the offense where he can find some spots, coach it up.
Well, and I as a longtime New England fan, I'm 44, so I've been watching New England for
43,
35 years or whatever, so that I can remember anyway. And I remember early in the Brady years, he talked, and you can't help but compare the two, right? Like you have to compare at least the idea of a development curve, right? Like not necessarily the expectations. Nobody, obviously different draft slots, et cetera, but early in the Brady years, he used to talk all the time about taking what the defense gives you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, that was the constant stress, is take what the defense gives you, don't make mistakes. And I just think that Mike and Josh were in the building then. Josh was part of the process. He wasn't the main part yet, but he was still a part of the process. He was still a part of the guys in the room. And I just think that you've got to look at that development curve a little bit. And if you look at them trying to bring up Drake in a similar way, you've got this. I think one thing that I would really like to see is more yards after catch by the receivers. It's 5.5 yards average depth of target, 6 yards per throw average.
Yep.
That's not going to get it done.
Yep,
we got to get away from the defense once you got the ball in your hands.
Appreciate you, Randy. Good call. Good stuff. Hey, listen, in 2018, they relied on Sony Michel in the running game, and it got them to a Super Bowl. And when Brady needed to make the big throw, he made it. I do think that for the most part, Drake Maye takes what the defense gives him. I think his problem is when they're down in games, he forces it, especially down the sideline. And that's where his turnovers happen. So, listen, I want to see more reps. All I have is the five attempts that he took. So I'm sure there's people that are listening being like, oh, my God, it's just preseason. Get off him. I want to. But I also think he needs more reps. Both things can be true. We'll take a quick break here. The phone number, once again, 617-779-0985. I see all our friends on YouTube tonight. Wow, we got a lot of people watching, huh? Skaz, what'd you think, man? We can do it on the other side, too. Oh, there he is. He's got his head set on. What are you and Luke talking about back there? Did Luke bring a box of food with him tonight?
Some Sox talk, Sox talk with Luke usually. But yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I thought it was a fine game on Friday night. I think the big story was, Henderson looked good. Kyle Williams, I saw some people cutting up Kyle Williams tape, so that's always a good sign. Yeah, Drake Maye is going to turn the ball over. He's going to. He's not going to just magically stop. We just have to hope that Josh McDaniels can, rein it in and just make Drake Maye a better decision maker, a more complete quarterback. So,
do you think that fumble had something to do with Josh McDaniels, though? Because he even said it was his own instincts. It was the first. He said it, and this goes back to maybe Bedard's point of the easy camp. The first time he got hit, Skaz, he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, maybe you want to see him get hit a little more. I mean, you don't want to see your quarterback get hit often, but maybe they need a little bit more of that. If that's his first instinct when he gets hit is to fumble the football, I would say that's not great.
Not good. Again, it's one preseason. Do you think he needs more reps?
Yes. He hasn't played quarterback that long. Like you mentioned Bo Nix, you mentioned, Jaden Daniels. Like these guys are 3-4 years older than Drake Maye, and they've played a lot more football than him.
How about Brock Purdy, right?
Yeah, another guy.
I mean, Dak Prescott played many years at Texas A&M, ended up getting an opportunity, played well. I'm just using guys that, Justin Herbert, right? Played a lot of reps at Oregon. I'm just thinking of guys that had a lot of experience in college. They seem to be able to at least pick it up faster in the NFL.
I'm with you. There's tons of guys like that. Jalen Hurts was one of them too.
Case Keenum played 8 years in college. He's still in the damn league.
Yeah, we don't. I know. I don't want a Brandon Whedon situation either. We don't need to go that far. But yeah, Drake Maye hasn't played a ton of football. He needs to play more football. I think that's pretty simple to me.